And welcome everybody to the Ring Weekly Catch-Up. I'm Burf, here with Jack Morris, and we're here to talk about a weekend gone rather than a weekend yet to come. It's not a massive weekend, this upcoming weekend for boxing, but it's been an amazing weekend, the weekend that's just gone. We've seen goodbye to some old stuff, goodbye to some new stuff, and a few of the lads probably feeling a little bit blue. First things we'll talk about, very interesting, I think. Tom Stalker, Great Britain Olympic captain, great amateur record, very similar style. Him, Frankie Gavin, Billy Joe Saunders, they've all got a little similar look. You know what I mean? They lean forward a little bit, try and drag people up. Now, 2 out of the 3 of them have been wiped out, really, from the standpoint of what people thought they were going to achieve as to where they are now. You got one. If Billy Joe Saunders gets knocked out by Chris Eubank, which I don't think he will, but that's not the point, it's not a very big endorsement of the transition of our top-end amateurs to the pro ranks. BJ Saunders different. Frankie Gavin, loved the way he boxes, but this lad Stalker the other day wasn't at the races at all, was he?
No, I mean, I think I can see where you're going with the comparisons to a degree.
It's that little lean back thing I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think Gavin's getting on top of it a little bit more than what Stalker was. I mean, the thing is, whether he looked amateur the other night, I mean, to me as a boxer, I think if you're getting caught when a guy's throwing shots at will and you're getting caught, you put your hands up. That's the first thing you do. What he seemed to do is drop them down lower and stick his chin out even more.
Or he did the other thing where he cupped his hands in his gloves and then leant forward anyway.
Leant forward, and he, and when he was hitting him, it was like the kid weren't even making his head. Weren't even making a dent.
Well, he caught that Jack Catterall. He caught him with one uppercut, I think, off the ropes in about round 7. I think it was that cut his eye, maybe round 6. But you're absolutely right. I was looking at that lad Jack Catterall, and he didn't really do a hell of a lot more than put a glove up and a shoulder, and that seemed to be enough to get him out of jail.
Yeah, very accurate. I think he's quite a deceiving little character, actually. He's
very strong, for sure.
Strong. He timed his shots perfectly, but like you say, when someone's actually hanging their chin over their front foot, I've never seen it. I've never seen anything as poor as that. I don't know whether he's had a bad night or what his game plan was.
What did you think about the corner? What do you think about his corner?
What is it Seamus Macklin?
I've never seen the guy before. Quite long hair in his corner.
That's Matthew Macklin's brother, isn't it?
Is it?
I think again. I mean, I've heard he's quite a good trainer.
Is he?
But I've never been out there and watched what he does. But it's. I mean, you can't always blame a trainer for a fight.
Well, I don't know. If you're turning around and saying that he's hanging his chin out, and he's got his weight on his front leg too much, I'd say you definitely could turn around and say, why didn't someone say that's not a particularly good idea? Because you're getting with someone who's going to bang, they're going to bang you out, and that's what happened the other day. As opposed to saying, what I think the kid was saying is, you got to throw more shots. To me, that's like simplistic.
Yeah, I think it comes to a degree that I don't think he's worked with him long. I've watched other fighters box that he's trained, and they seem all right. Brad Saunders, for instance, who punches very hard.
Comes back to the old thing, though, doesn't it? Great fighters make great trainers. I don't think it happens the other way around. I think very good trainers can actually affect the way that people box. But like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you fundamentally that the guy's style was absolutely nowhere near it. And so somewhere down the line, someone should have turned around and said, Tom, you don't seem to be the strongest lad in the world. You don't seem to take a particularly great shot. Maybe it'd be better if you boxed off your back foot a little bit more and kept it a little bit longer and only mixed it up occasionally rather than leaning forward all the time.
Yeah, but this is the first time that he's been found out. I think, again, a lot of people work on the fact if he's not broke, don't fix it. Not the way that I'd do it, but...
No, me neither.
You've got a guy who's captain of the Olympic team, walks into the gym, and all of a sudden you start, really tampering with him. He's going to demand a certain degree of respect. I'm not saying that's right, because I think the trainer should grab hold of the fighter.
Well, this comes back to the other thing, right? Now I've said to you, and I'll say it again, Billy Joe Saunders, fantastic boxer, not strong enough. Right? I've said that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Frankie Gavin, fantastic boxer, not strong enough. Tom Stalker, didn't look like a fantastic boxer. I'm being perfect. I'm sure he's a very good amateur boxer. Looked like a nice boxer, definitely not strong enough. And it comes back to the thing I'm always saying, that the conditioning, the physiological conditioning of these guys in the amateur ranks isn't correct to take them over into the pro ranks. And you saw a guy the other day with a couple of minimal movements, right, but very strong kid, took a guy who's boxed at every top-end tournament for the last 10 years in the amateurs and literally ripped his head off in about, what was it, eight rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah, 8 rounds, yeah. I mean, I
that
think,
to me tells you everything you need to know about the conditioning of the amateur kids. You've had Frankie Gavin end up on the deck against a guy who wasn't in his league as a boxer, but in professional it don't have to be pretty. And that's the thing I was saying about, I think the Eubanks thing, I think Eubanks have actually mugged themselves off a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Because I think if they'd have left it a little bit longer, he'd have had a much better chance. I think they've done a clever thing, the Billy Joe Saunders lot, 'cause they've got him right at the right time, got him early enough. Just don't reckon he's ready for that jump.
Yeah, I think Billy Joe Saunders is going to get stronger. I do see him being a world-class fighter. I understand what you're saying with the strength. I think the same thing. I don't think he's strong enough yet. I think this Eubanks fight's going to teach him a little bit, because I'm expecting him to touch down early rounds, get back up, and kind of sort of finish the fight strong. But I do believe he's going to be up there.
Talking about strength, you said you saw at the weekend a legendary fighter, really, who would have never been banged out in 2 rounds, get banged out in Katsidis against Coyle the other day. And that's a good example there of a kid who really, again, took himself physiologically as far as you possibly could, because he was never hard to hit Katsidis, you just couldn't stop him.
That's right, yeah, very.
But the other day he got caught with what I would describe as a quirky kind of hook, high on the head, all over the gaff like a mad woman's pup.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that would have finished him off back in the early days.
No way. Wouldn't have got anywhere near it.
But yeah,
in fact, I don't think he'd have been able to get the shot off because he put more pressure on you as well.
Yeah, the range.
His legs didn't look great,
short, wouldn't it? Yeah, no.
Classic example of a spent fighter, to be honest.
Yeah, you got to give it to Coyle. I think he did what he had to do. I believe watching Campbell as well the other night, I think that Campbell will absolutely take Coyle to school. Yeah,
I think you'd do better now. I think no disrespect to Coyle, but you look back at the history of it. The kid that he beat the other day, Buswala. Previous to that, obviously, he lost in the fight to the Irish kid who boxed at the weekend.
Oh, is he Irish? Derry Matthews.
Derry Matthews, Irish family, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Derry Matthews, there's a clue in the name, I'm guessing.
Oh, and
all I'm saying is when you look at kind of comparable fights, I think they say you can't make decisions based on stuff, but you can. I think it's all set up for Campbell to do very well in a very big fight in Hull.
Yeah, of course. Eddie Hearn's not putting all his chips on Coyle, is he? He's wanting Campbell to win the fight. There's no two ways about that.
What else at the weekend impressed you?
Derry Matthews, funny enough, as we just spoke about, he
seems to be a lad who you just can't keep him down.
No, people. 1 minute they're saying he's shot, the next minute he's saying he's having a bit of an Indian summer to his career. But I think he's a very professional lad.
I think that's what it is as well. Yeah, like you say, very professional. Yeah, he can get beaten, but you never ever see him get beaten and think to yourself, oh, that's definitely the end of it. You always know he's going to come back and kind of reinvent himself again. Yeah,
he's one of them guys you can't write off. I think he deserves a big fight now, against Mitchell and maybe even.
That's an interesting fight. How would a Mitchell fight end up?
I think, to be honest with you, I think Mitchell is one of the best out of the bunch at this current moment. Watching his last performance, I think he's too strong. Hits too hard.
Yeah, okay. Crolla as well.
I think Mitchell beats Crolla as well.
Oh, interesting. What else about the weekend stood out for you?
It weren't so much the fight. It was what come off the back of the fight was Martin Murray after beating Dominic Spada, who's now going to fight Golovkin in February.
Do you think Murray looked in the best of shape the other day? I heard a couple of people say he looked a little tiny bit fleshy. Yeah,
but I mean, he's going to, that's not a fight, Dominic Spada, that's going to, bring him right up. I think.
You don't think, obviously the Golovkin fight was hanging on the back of it because the big deal was Golovkin was ringside, they were going to announce that the winner of that was going to be his mandatory, and it was, and they're going to get the fight.
That's it, yeah. It was just all going through the motions, I believe.
Yeah, and out of the tranche of British middleweights you could potentially throw into the mashing machine that is Golovkin, how does Murray do?
I think he does very well. I think surprisingly well. He's a tough kid. I don't see him winning the fight, but I don't see him being blown away in
Matthew Macklin style.
No, I think he'd go late and give Golovkin probably his hardest fight to date.
Well, I think it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to see that kind of... be good to see Golovkin stretched a little bit. I mean, everyone's avoiding him. Obviously, Quillen's not having it. He's going to go with the other kid in New York. But it would be good, actually, to see one of our boys do well against him. I goes out of those... Murray's had big fight experience before. And obviously, personally, I thought he won that fight against the Argentinian kid. But it will be interesting to see how he does. Okay, then we're going to go straight to our competition now, and it's our favourite and yours. No real reason why it sits in this show, but let's look at it anyway. It's the Eastern Bloc Bimbo.
Hello everybody, I'm from the Eastern Bloc. This week's competition winner will win this classic ring t-shirt. It's got official ring logo on the back. It looks great on, but you're naughty man. It looks even better off. See you next week.
Well, there you are. Fantastic. And a very easy way to win that t-shirt. All you've got to do is register with the Ring 1910. All the registrations that come through on the Ring 1910 up till Sunday night, put your name in the hat, and then if you win the t-shirt, obviously we'll contact you directly. The ring1910.com. Right, before we finish, just a couple of little points. Around the mouth area, actually. Wadi Camacho, biting incident. What was your take on that?
Yeah, I don't think he bit him. That's the first thing, and I think that the
gave him a good chinning.
Yeah, he's known for digging his chin in. I only found it out on Friday night when I kind of
digging his chin into someone's neck and shoulder.
And shoulder, yeah.
Unusual.
It hurts, doesn't it?
I don't know.
If I squeeze you there, really hard,
it's nice.
It's going to hurt.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, with a bit of Spanish stubble on your shoulder.
Yeah, he's a funny one, that Wadi. He's a good boxer, that, but he's been called out by a former UFC fighter, a kid called Jamie Hearn, who is a very, very amusing lad, and I think we're going to cut to it. Have a look at this lad, Jamie Hearn, who's calling out Wadi Camacho.
Hi guys, Fake for Boxing Evolution TV, and we're down at the Queensbury Boxing League, and I'm here with Team Real Deal coach.
Yeah, baby. I should say, yeah, buddy, tonight.
Jamie the Real Deal Hearn, and you've got a few comments about Wadi Camacho's antics last night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too sure if he bit him or not. Really, what you need to be doing, Wadi, I mean, you can't even fight you can't bite properly, let alone fight. This is what you need to do. Bite him like that, so you can't even bite your fucking ferret-headed prick. You got to fight me and all. Not beating out your head.
Jamie, Boxing Evolution TV, family-friendly channel.
Yeah, sorry. Rewind that. What do you want to know?
So, I mean, what was it you were saying to me earlier? You wanted to actually train Wadi to fight you.
Yeah, what it is, I mean, the Sims obviously aren't cutting the mustard with your Wadi. So, what I'm going to do, because I consider myself a great fighter and a great trainer and a great lover, but I'm not going to teach you that because I can't give you everything. But what I'm going to train you for the fight. I'm personally going to train you to make you a better fighter, to give me a better fight, so that you maybe can go past the first round. So sack off the Sims, come to me, baby. Team Real Deal. Yeah, baby.
Well, he's said it about 10 times now, probably more than that, Wadi. He wants you.
They can't count past 10.
He said it a lot of times. Wadi, are you going to take Jamie's challenge?
Take it, Wadi, take it!
We'll wait for your response. Over and out.
Well, there you go. And he's that lad Jamie Hearn. He's actually he's knocked out a couple of decent people, isn't he? He's a former UFC fighter, I think, isn't he?
Well, before that, he was a super middleight. I think he boxed Winky Wright. You know,
yeah, but he's a fully licensed professional boxer, though, isn't he? Yeah. You know, he's one of them ones, isn't he? I'll tell you the honest truth. He looks like one of them ones. He's like fearless, very strong, fearless. And I call me crazy. I would like to see that fight.
I'd like to see him against the Craig Kennedy or any of the leading cruiserweights.
How would you feel about doing a bit of sparring with this kid, Jamie Hearn?
I'll fucking run a mile.
Well, there you go. I was going to invite him down for a move around with you, but fair enough. But yeah, so maybe we'll see that in the future anyway. Jamie Hearn, bit of a character, making a bit of a name for himself against Wadi Camacho, who's keeping quiet. Okay, I think we'll call it a day then. There's not a lot going on this weekend, so we're not going to give you any tips, but we'll be back next week, and obviously we'll be in the rock. What's happening week after this weekend? What's going on week after that? Big fight coming up.
I'm not too sure. I know we're going to be pressed with the build-up of the Cleverly Baloo saga, which is on ringside Thursday.
Oh,
so
the paper nothing.
The pay.
I can't wait. I can't wait. It doesn't make any odds to me.
No, it's not really.
It won't make any odds to me. I can't understand why it's a pay-per-view, but it is, and we'll have to. You can't base a pay-per-view on what's on the undercard. You base a pay-per-view on it being the actual pinnacle event. But we'll talk about that at a later date. But until then, from the Ring 1910, Jack Morris, Matt, our cameraman, and myself, Burf, we'll see you next week.